So social media, digital marketing, massive importance for businesses, small, medium, large. A fundamental thing though a lot of businesses forget is the planning side. I'm a big believer in digital strategy, and we've all heard the phrase, fail to plan, plan to fail. And it is a huge thing because in my experience from working with clients, working on social media, a lot of people kind of think that social media is going to be like an instant hit. You put out that tweet, you put out that Facebook post, and they expect suddenly things to go viral, loads of business to come to the website. And unfortunately, the reality is it doesn't happen like that. And I always say to people, you need to have a plan. Why are we doing digital marketing? Why have you decided to go on Twitter? Why are you looking at Facebook? Why are you thinking of doing Facebook ads? And it is always a starting point that you need to focus on having a plan, getting to that point of the why. Why are we doing this? And the way generally I like to build a plan is by, first of all, doing what I call the situational analysis. And it is almost like a real deep dive into your business. And what I mean by that is that you need to take a step back and really understand, well, what are the products and services that are we actually offering? You may be a plumbing business, painting and decorating. Maybe you are someone that works in banking. List out all the products and services, because I've worked with clients who, for example, said that they offered a certain type of product, but then when they tease it out, they realize, wow, we do so many other things for our clients that we don't actually charge for. Could we turn them into products? I think you also then, and this is a critical thing, I don't think a lot of businesses really drill down into who their clients are, who are their customers, and who is their target audience. They only look at the end result, orders, sales, etc. And I always say to people, well, listen, you need to, and it's not to use marketing jargon, but you'll hear the terms, customer persona. But in effect, it's basically, there's John, there's Mary, there's Michael, there's Mark, 35 to 65, male, female, loves going on holidays, is interested in reading, or whatever it might be. And you build up a profile as to what this ideal customer is, and how does your product or service answer their need, answer their want. I suppose you might hear the term pain point, because why do we go onto Google? Why do people go onto YouTube? They're searching for answers to their questions. And that's basically, like in my experience, if I'm looking for information about something, if I'm thinking about buying a new piece of equipment, the first thing I do is I go on and do research. I ask the question. And if I find a company that is giving me the information in a way that I like, and presents the information in a way that's informative and kind of helps me through the journey of discovery, the chances that I may continue on to go back to that business is very high. So I think there needs to be that period of, really kind of, do we understand who we want to target, who's buying from us? And a question that a lot of businesses don't actually ask is, why do you, Mr. or Mrs. Customer, why do you buy from us? Why do you come to us? Amount of business that don't actually take a stop and take a breath and kind of find out, because if they're coming to you because your customer service is fantastic, your website, the way every process is so easy, the quality of your products is fantastic, that's brilliant. Try and build on that. Build on all those positives as ways to further engage those customers, but to attract new customers. But if they're all saying, well, the reason we come to you is because you're the only business at the moment that offers this service, then I'd be getting scared, because if a competitor comes into the market, suddenly they will have lots of differentiators from you, and potentially you could lose business. So really knowing who your customer is, who you want to go after, is critical. It's a vital part. What are your objectives? It sounds so easy. Just set some goals, set some objectives. But the amount of business that actually don't really drill this down. And it's not about setting an objective, oh, next year we're going to be clearing 500,000 in sales. I always say, break them down, short, medium, long term. Use the SMART model as one of the frameworks, being specific, measurable, relevance, timely, actionable, like all of these kind of things ultimately boil down that this month, what do you want to achieve? In 3 months' time, what do you want to achieve? In 6 months, where do you want to be? In a year, where do you want to be? And apply those objectives to your digital. We're going to go on Twitter. What do we want to achieve in the first month? Maybe it is we want to grow our follower base. In month 3, maybe we want to be seeing engagement on our tweets. In month 6 to a year, maybe we want to start to see a lot more direct messaging, business opportunities coming from our tweets, website traffic coming. But you need to have a fundamental understanding as to what do you want to achieve, especially with your social media, because if you're just putting out tweets and Facebook posts and you don't really know what you're trying to achieve, you're going to go round and round in circles. It's an old school technique in marketing. It's called the SWOT analysis. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats. I say to every business, both in a traditional sense and from a digital point, do the SWOT analysis. What are your strengths? What are the strengths of your business? Is it your products? Is it your customer service? Is it your staff? But where are you weak on? Like I worked with a client a number of years back, amazing business, amazing products, amazing service. But one of their weaknesses was because they were so busy, they could never get back to all of the opportunities that were either emailing or leaving messages. And then people just got fed up. So that had to be rectified, because if that weakness did not get sorted, it suddenly then became a threat, because then suddenly, as we all see, social media, people go on, oh sure, don't contact so-and-so because they never get back to you. So then that could erode any opportunities that they were trying to do. So I think it's very important from a business that you fundamentally understand where you're good at, where you're weak at, where are the opportunities, but what are the threats that either are self-made or are in outside circles. And it's very interesting when you do that deep dive on your business and you get real clarity, suddenly, I believe, because based on my experience that has happened, you look at your business in a whole new light and you suddenly realize, okay, I now know what we're trying to achieve. I now know what marketing we have currently done and did it work or why it didn't work. And if it didn't work, we've explored the reasons why it hasn't worked so we don't fall into those same mistakes again. And then doing that SWOT analysis is fantastic.